Science has finally caught up with religion, and as it turns out, religion had it right all along. Genesis chapter 1 tells the story of how God created the universe. The funny thing is, the authors of Genesis describe the creation of reality in the exact same manner as quantum physicists do today. You heard that correctly. The first description of quantum physics that we have today was described by the Sumerian authors of Genesis more than 4,000 years ago and rediscovered by the great scientist Max Planck in 1900. If you wanted to understand quantum physics as it is understood today, you would have to read pages and pages of dry scientific papers published on the topic. The authors of Genesis explained quantum theory in 2 verses.
And Elohim said, I am light, and he became light. And saw Elohim that the light was good, and caused a divide, Elohim, intervaling the light and intervaling the darkness.
This is what real genius looks like. In quantum theory, the universe is one huge wave function. The wave function is information and contains all the possibilities this universe could be. So the wave function is understood as a probabilistic potential of what could be. It only collapses into the physical universe that each of us experiences after a conscious observer, you and I, observes the wave function with intent. In Christianity, we call this intent of the observer believing. Jesus taught us that changing our intent, believing, through the control of our own mind, would force the wave function of reality to collapse into whatever it was we believed. The only hitch is that we have to take charge of our own mind and learn to believe if we want to control our reality. The way the geniuses who wrote Genesis explained how our reality comes to be is that God, as I am and I become, is the light. The light is the wave function that physicists term a wave-particle duality. It is not one or the other. It is both. In Genesis, God is one but expressed as 2. I am is the light, and I become is the particle of reality that becomes. The wave and the particle are one until the wave collapses into the particle, which becomes a non-reversible event. This is what causes the arrow of time, or why time only moves in one direction. In Genesis, God is first shown as only the waters. He is then shown dividing himself into the light and the darkness. The light is the wave, and the darkness is the potential result of wave collapse, the particle. God then begins to oscillate internally between the light and the darkness as a frequency of vibration. This is how God creates the initial wave function. The wave function passes through us and becomes the reality we believe we will experience. Modern physicists don't have a clue about the origin of the wave function that creates our reality. They only know how the wave behaves through experimentation. Our Sumerian ancestors knew full well where the wave function originated. They knew the wave function was God, and that God was 2. I am, and I become.